What's going on, football fans? This time once again for another edition of the Falcon Eye View. I'm your host, J.R. Clark, and today we're going to be talking about our fourth round pick, Sean Harlow. He was 136th pick overall by the Atlanta Falcons, and he's a guard. He's a guard out of Oregon State. I've said many times before that I'm not that great at evaluating guards and how they play and stuff like that, and offensive linemen, really, other than did he give up a sack, then that's probably not good. So that's kind of, I don't have a good eye for offensive linemen. So I'm going to kind of attack this video in a little bit of a different way, in a little bit of a different light. Kind of see, bring to light what Sean Harlow to the Atlanta Falcons might mean. Somebody might automatically assume that he's going to just step in for Chris Chester. Chris Chester retired this year, which leaves arguably one of the only holes on this roster coming into this season, which was right guard. Well, I've been listening, reading, viewing, and I really feel like the Atlanta Falcons are kind of happy with Wes Schweitzer, the guy we drafted in the 6th round last year. I mean, he's spent a year in our system, kind of, already familiar with the other guys on the offensive line and the offensive coaching staff, so I think he's really got a leg up going into camp for sure. Now, also don't count out Ben Garland, our Swiss Army defensive offensive lineman do-all. I mean, he could be in line for a starting gig, but I don't see him winning the job, not on lack of talent or lack of ability, but actually his versatility may actually, do him a disservice there. The fact that he can line up on the defensive line, he's our backup center, things like that, lend the fact that he might actually just stay in the role that he played last year, which is fine with me. I mean, I'm sure he would probably want a starting gig, but I think he earned himself at least a lot of fan love with that safety in the Seahawks game in the playoffs. So I think, honestly, our offensive line is really going to come down to, can Wes Schweitzer, hold this job. I really feel like it's his job to lose, and I think they're going to want to really groom Harlow for the potential, departure, whether it be cut or whatever, of Andy Levitre in a year or so, when his contract gets to be a little too much to stomach for the Falcons. So that's kind of where I see him at. That's kind of where I see him slotted at. Is definitely guard. I mean, he doesn't have necessarily the long arms to play tackle, and we don't really need him to play tackle. I mean, that's primarily where he played in college, but he played tackle on a run-heavy team. So he's got the skill set to be a decent, run blocker, but his pass blocking is definitely not up to par. So I don't know, unless he just comes in and balls out, I don't know how I really feel about, sliding him in as the starting right guard. Now, today we signed another offensive line, a free agent, Cornelius Edison, I believe was his name. He's formerly of the Chicago Bears. He's only 23 years old, spent most of the time on, practice squads, and started a few games for the Chicago Bears last year. So we'll see where that ends up, as far as, is he just a backup or is he just a camp body? I mean, we really won't know those answers until later on in the summer. But as I see it right now, your starting right guard is going to be Wes Schweitzer, with Sean Harlow being, getting some much needed seasoning and much needed, coaching. If he comes in and starts right away, that's going to be because, he just really blew the doors away. So that's where I see it. And as always, you can, catch my videos here on the Falcon Eye View, or on, the channel I'm sharing with Toby D, Faith Football Fans. I believe we're going to be having an announcement coming up soon regarding that. But keep your eyes peeled on those channels, for our podcasts and for, our collaborative work. And also, speaking of the podcast, you can now download those on iTunes under Falcon Eye View. And so we're just trying to get you the information you want, whenever you want it, and however you want it. As always, Falcons fans, rise up.